Turn your camera on.
It is
This is
on.
the sovereign citizen situation, right?
I don't know what that word means.
Well,
Yeah. I'm gonna say I'm not saying that I'm one of them, but I'm just saying I'm operating under what the Constitution Supreme Court ruling is talking about. Well, Your Honor, when the officer pulled me over and he said that, I didn't say those words. I just told him.
Welcome back, guys. So today we've got a courtroom clash that feels less like Law and Order and more like a bad improv show. This guy rolls in claiming he doesn't need a driver's license because, get this, he's traveling, not driving. Like changing the word magically changes the law. Judge Perkins is just sitting there, sir, this is a Wendy's, but still tries to throw him a lifeline by offering an attorney. Of course, the guy refuses because he thinks he's cracked the legal code with a Facebook meme. Here's what I want to know. How do people still fall for this sovereign citizen stuff when it never works? Let's dive in.
I'm operating under the Constitution, and that's all else I said to him. And he just basically lied, said I was disgruntled, asked for backup and all that. And the video would show I wasn't even whatever, I can't think of the word he said, but he was saying I need backup. I have a irate or whatever word he said, and that was not even true.
it's just what you're saying is just not the state of the law. I don't know any other way to say it.
We just going to continue with the case, and whatever comes about. If the paperwork I given wasn't irrelevant, that's it then. So what is the next step?
So either the next step is take a plea, which I'm sure you don't want to do, but I'll give you the offer, or take it to trial, and those are the next steps.
Well, I guess we're going to have to go to trial.
I'm gonna set it for a jury trial too, so you can bring this in front of a jury of your peers and see, what they say. And I guess you don't want a lawyer, right?
The other cases that I had got dismissed for same situation. So
say what?
The other cases I had for this was dismissed, and you told me to give you one name of one person, and I could have said it then and there. It was myself. I had court cases for the same thing, and it was dismissed on whatever circumstances happened. It was dismissed.
And what do you mean by that?
For the same driver.
Let's do this. Let's call it and put it all on the record. I have my court reporter back. Let's call it and put it on the record, all right? So, Mr. Lynch, let me ask you this. And this is just...
He's talking like traffic court is optional, as if the DMV is just a suggestion. What he doesn't realize is that ignoring prior violations doesn't erase them, it stacks them like a legal Jenga with guaranteed collapse. Self-representation isn't bravery when it's backed by zero prep and conspiracy blogs. At this point, it's less of a defense and more performance art with a penalty phase.
Just to understand, try to really get a grasp of your position. I understand you're why don't you, if you're not a sovereign citizen, usually sovereign citizens tell me, I don't want a lawyer. If you're not claiming the sovereign citizenship, why don't you get a lawyer to help you out with this?
I can't never find no attorney. The last attorney I got, they was telling me you should have just took a deal, you should have paid the ticket, and you really can't find nobody who's going to take your case. So basically, I'm in limbo, and basically, all I have to say, not guilty with impunity.
Let's say this. I guess if you're not willing to,
so I'm not a national, so I can't say that. All I'm saying, I'm just a citizen, and all I'm going to say, not guilty with impunity.
He really said not guilty like it's a cheat code, not realizing that the court doesn't just take vibes as a valid defense. Judges don't need a legal reason to deny nonsense, they just need the nonsense to show up on record, which this guy offers in bulk. It's wild how confidently wrong you can be when no one's ever told you no with consequences. At this point, he's not defending himself, he's auditioning for a mistrial.
Well, how are you immune to this? Because I mean, let's just do this. You don't have to. You don't have to tell me how you're going to proceed with your case. You're fully in the right to proceed however you want to proceed. I'm going to just give you a jury trial, and you'll have to present what you need to present in front of a jury. Will you allow me to assign a lawyer to you just for the purposes of, helping you out with the courtroom procedure and stuff?
You can do that.
I don't find anything that he's filed that has any merit. So that's why I'm giving you a jury trial, because if you bring the same stuff in a trial, if it's the same as what you're giving me and the stuff that you're professing, based on what I see, you're gonna lose.
So
by me.
If the judge is saying the information is not valid and the people don't know nothing, so why won't I put my hands in the hands of the people?
Because first of all, what I'm telling you is I'm trying to give you a fighting chance with these arguments that you're making. What I'm telling you is you're not going to have a fighting chance.
This guy talks like he's read one outdated blog post and decided he's the Supreme Court. Every word out of his mouth sounds like it was stitched together from Reddit threads and parking ticket forums. Judge Perkins isn't giving him a jury trial because he earned it, it's legal chess. If the judge skips that step, it opens the door for appeals, delays, and even mistrial claims, which is exactly what guys like this hope for. Letting him rant isn't a show of respect, it's the legal version of handing him a shovel and watching him dig straight through due process.
With me, you're going to lose unless you come with something substantially different than what you have. At least with the people, you said it yourself. They don't know the law, or they might not even know the law. So you may be able to get them to side with you just because they love Mr. Lynch and they want it. I don't know. But other than that.
No jury. I really don't know people jury. I'm not even gonna do that. So if I found guilty, so I'm gonna have to sue every person that was a juror.
I don't know what you're gonna have to do. I don't know, Mr. Lynch. You're the one that's making these arguments up, and you're the one that has researched and done what you've done. You provided that stuff to me, so you're expected to know the law. You're expected to know the law. So whether you can sue jurors and whether you can sue whoever, that's going to be on you to know, and then or if you don't know, that's going to be on you to find out.
Okay, so I have to get back with the law department about the videos and the dash cam of the police officers.
That I can Mr. Bowman, can you put your appearance on the record, please? Now, Mr. Lynch, now I can potentially help you if the stuff exists. Mr. Lynch is asking for body cam and whatever discovery that body cam, audio, video, whatever discovery that the people have in relates to his matters.
Your Honor, I understand that, and discovery would be provided if he files a valid request pursuant to the court rule for discovery.
So you saying I haven't done that previously? I don't see
Hold on,
Mr. Lynch. Your Honor, if I'm not mistaken, the court rule just says upon request. He's made his request today. I don't think that there's anything in the court rule that requires anything other than him making a request. Mr. Lynch has made his request for discovery, and I believe it's supposed to be provided to him.
Court rule provides for a written request,
I
and
can you-
that has not happened.
All right, let's discovery, rule 6 point. We're gonna know this discovery rule, and you got it.
Forward and backwards.
Yeah, you need to get this book. You need to get this book, Mr. Lynch.
At this point, I don't know if this guy needs a law book or a reality check, but something's gotta give. He walked into that courtroom with the energy of someone arguing with airport security, loud, wrong, and just fully committed. It's wild how people confuse courtroom confidence with courtroom competence. Like, no, you don't get to opt out of the law just because you renamed yourself a private traveler. That's not a legal defense, that's a road trip with delusions. Now, from here on out, things slow way down. It's mostly scheduling talk and legal housekeeping, so we'll end it here, but seriously, imagine this guy standing in front of a jury trying to explain maritime law to a room full of people just doing their civic duty. I genuinely want to know what you think. Is this guy completely clueless, or does he know he's wrong and just doesn't care? And do you guys want a breakdown of the jury trial when it happens? Because if it's even half as chaotic as this, I'm gonna need some popcorn. Thanks again for kicking it with me. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop your thoughts below because I read all of them. I post every single day, and trust me, courtroom chaos like this isn't slowing down anytime soon. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.